how you didn't know that was a catfish, but you know, sometimes, you know, you just don't know. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Maj, and I'm back with another video. First, you guys, I just want to say that I'm sorry for not uploading a video on Saturday. I usually do post on my channel on Saturdays, and this week, well, last Saturday I didn't post because I had a lot of stuff going on. You just don't have the energy to post. Since we've been in quarantine, you know, my eyebrows looking rough, my hair looking real crazy, you know, kind of stiff. I try to do a little something with it, but you know, so I really wasn't trying to film until after quarantine. But it's like, I want my channel to pop. I want to keep bringing you guys content, so I gotta make sure I'm posting. Whether I'm looking crusty, I gotta post for y'all. So today I'm gonna be doing a story time about when I got catfished. Okay, y'all, pray for me because it's hard even saying this right now, like telling you guys this story. I feel crazy just thinking about it. Like, all right, okay, how did I not know this girl was a catfish? Like, what was I thinking at the time? I guess I just was like not wanting to believe it because this girl was so fine. You know, I'm just like, they gonna think I'm stupid. Like, girl, how did you not know that she was a catfish? Y'all, I don't know. Like, I'm still thinking, like, to this day, everything, all the clues came together, and I just didn't put it together. I'm like, bruh, you should know. Bad on you. It ain't even her fault. It's your fault. Because all the signs was there. It's crazy because when I messaged her, I said, you know, people be catfishing on here. So I just wanted to make sure, you know, you was really you. She got super offended when I said that people be catfishing and stuff like that. She's like, why would you think I was a catfish? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, whoa, baby. I didn't say you was a catfish. I said that people be catfishing on here. There's a difference. So that was kind of a red flag, too, because I'm like, why did she get so offended when I said, you know, people be catfishing and stuff? That was weird. But I kind of just, like, brushed it off. Okay, so this happened about 2 years ago, I want to say, maybe 2.5 years ago. I don't know if you guys know the app POF, but I had a POF account. I had talked to a few people, you know, prior to talking to her, so it wasn't really like I was super, you know, skeptical about the app because I had met people on there before that I had like FaceTime, you know, got to know and stuff. So it's like, okay, I'm thinking the same thing applied with this person. Obviously not, but yeah, so it's like, okay, this girl, I came across this girl on POF. She was really attractive. I'm like, oh, okay, you know, had all the stuff I was looking for. I'm like, all right. I read her bio. It's like she was looking, like, it has this thing on there where you can say what you're looking for. And she said wants to find someone to marry. So I'm just like, okay, you know, she taking things seriously. She not just trying to, you know, get the goods. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and message her. So I hit her up on POF, and the conversation goes good. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know how I was feeling at the time, but I'm just like, she replied. So we get to talking the first few days on the app, and it was real cool. You know, she was a real sweetheart. Like, we were talking about our lives, what we wanted to do, how, you know, how we wanted things to go, what we was looking for, all that stuff. So I'm like, all right, bet. And she said she was 27. So I don't know, I've always been into older girls, so I didn't really like think of it too much. I'm like, okay, she's not gonna be on games because she, you know, older. So a few days go by, and we're still talking on the app. And at that time, I don't think I was really getting on the app like that. So I would miss when she would like message me and stuff. And usually I don't give people my phone number, but at this time I'm like, okay, we've been talking for a few days, you know, we vibing and stuff. Like, I'm gonna just tell her to text me, because that way if she texts me, you know I got her message. So give her my phone number, boom. We start texting, you know, for a couple of weeks. Everything is great. She's replying, like, we talking back and forth. That's always a great thing. Like, when you can actually vibe with somebody, they actually reply to your messages in a timely manner, and you like, okay, consistent conversation. I mess with it. So I'm like, boom, check mark for that. So we talking. Initially, she told me she was, because her profile said that she was from Indiana. But then when she texted me from an out of state number. So I was like a little skeptical, but then again, it's like, okay, she could have just a number from out of state, I guess. But then she ended up telling me that she lived in New York and she was like staying there, living in New York for school or whatever. So I'm like, okay, she got a New York phone number because she like lived in New York. That makes sense. So I didn't think too much of it really. But then, like, as time went on, she would be texting me, like, from different phone numbers and stuff. And I'm like, bro, this is kind of weird. But then she would say, like, oh, I'm texting you from my other phone. Or, like, my phone broke. I had to get a new phone or whatever. So this is my new number. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't really like people texting me from a whole bunch of different numbers. It's kind of sketch. Like, it's weird. But I was like, all right, cool. So we still talking and stuff like that. As time goes on, she gradually starts to like reply less and like more time in between her like hours and hours to reply. But everybody be busy, so I understood it. I'm like, okay, it's whatever. So she would text me and be like, hey, sorry for the late reply. I was doing this or I was working, blah, 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 blah. So initially in the first like week and a half that we was talking, we hadn't talked on the phone yet. We hadn't FaceTime. We hadn't did nothing. But I was ready to get down to the bottom of it because I wanted to know if she was real. Like, you have to make sure that person is who they say they are. So I'm like, hey, can we FaceTime? And then she was like, oh, I'm on my Android right now. Like, one of the numbers she texted me from was an iPhone, and then one of them, the messages was sending green. But I didn't know if they were sending green because it was an Android or because they were sending as text messages. I don't know. If you have an iPhone, you get what I'm saying. But, yeah, so she said she was, had an Android right now, so she wasn't able to FaceTime. And I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be, I don't know, because I need to FaceTime you to see what's really what. But I just kind of like let it rest in that moment. I was like, all right, whatever. And at the time I didn't know like about Facebook, like Messenger or whatever, like you could FaceTime on that, not FaceTime, but like video chat and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, I guess we just not gonna be able to FaceTime. But so then I told her to like send me like pictures and videos of herself. And she would send me pictures and videos, but they would all be like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, I couldn't really see clearly, or she would usually have a filter on her pictures or something. And one time I told her to send me one without a filter, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna send it to you later, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. Later came around, never got no pictures, but I didn't want to drag it. Like, I wasn't trying to press the issue, so I just kind of let it be. And then, I didn't really think too much about it anymore. I guess I didn't really want to see her as a catfish because, like I said, everything was so perfect. At the time, I was working at Speedway. So it was one time where she like hit me up and was like, hey, I'm going to be in Indy. I'm coming home to see my kids. And I'm like, kids? We never discussed anything about, oh no, this is what happened. Sorry y'all, this was mad long ago, so I'm trying to still piece everything together. She texted me and she was like, I'm not really 27. Well, she said, I gotta tell you something. And I'm like, okay. I was at work, I'm thinking like, bro, what is it gonna be? She like, I gotta tell you something. I'm like, all right. She's like, I'm not really 27. I'm like, okay, who lies about their age? But all right. Who want to be 27 if they not 27? Okay. So I'm sorry, y'all. My phone died. But she was saying that she wasn't really 27. I'm like, okay, well, how old are you? And then she was like, I'm really 24. I'm like, okay, that was a weird lie. Like, whatever. I'm like, why you lie about your age? Like, I'm pretty straightforward. I don't be liking to be rude. I don't be wanting people to think I'm rude, but I'm thinking like, why would anybody lie about their age? She was like, oh, I wasn't trying to lie about my age, but I don't really like to let people know everything about me if I'm not serious with them or whatever. I'm just like, okay, whatever. So she's really 24 at this point. I should have picked up on something like, okay, if she'll lie about her age, she's a liar. But I didn't. I let it be. So then a few more days go past, and she tells me like, hey, I gotta tell you something. again. And then she's like, I know I said I didn't have no kids, but I do have kids. And I'm like, okay. So you didn't have no kids and you're 27 and now you're 24. How many kids do you have? Like, come on. So she's like, I have 2 kids, but I didn't want to tell you that I had kids because, you know, they live with their grandmother. A lot of stuff happened and I don't keep them right now. So she got a son and she got a daughter. I don't remember how old they were, but they wasn't like older. They was kind of young. Maybe, I think they were around like 4 or 5. Don't quote me, don't know. But yeah, so now at this point, now she got kids. She got a son and a daughter. And I'm just like, okay. You know, I understood though, because I'm like, well, you know, if she's not keeping her kids, she didn't feel like it was important to say at that time that she had kids. And maybe she didn't want me to know, you know, her full situation. So I kind of let it be. And then, one time she told me, because like I said, y'all, she lives in New York. So one time, excuse me, dang, I forgot where she said she lived. Okay, well, she lives somewhere in Indiana. Like, she's from somewhere in Indiana. I forgot where she said. But not from Indianapolis, like another town. Like, you know how there's like Gary and stuff like that? It was from somewhere. I can't remember right now where exactly she said that she was from. But I know that she said that, you know, she was somewhere close by where I was. So, I guess something had happened supposedly with her family, so that's why she hadn't been talking to me for a while, because I was getting irritated because she wasn't replying and stuff. And then I'm like, okay, you know, I'm about to stop talking to her because she's not consistent anymore. She already said she was 27, now she's 24, and now she got kids. Like, this is a lot. So, then she told me she was coming to Indy. So I was like, okay, well, I know I said I wasn't going to talk to her no more, but she coming to Indy. You know, I just want to see her face to face. And then we're going to go from there. I'm going to talk to her, see what's going on with her, like feel out her energy. Maybe it'll make things different. So she said she was coming to Indy to see her kids. And I'm like, all right. She was like, she invited me to something that I guess they were having at the time. Her family was having something and she invited me to it. Obviously I didn't go because I never met her in person before, and I wasn't about to just go like a 2-hour drive with nobody with me. So I didn't go. So I told her, you know, I wasn't trying to go because it was last minute and, you know, I don't know her like that. So, and we had FaceTime. So I'm like, nah, I'm cool. But she ended up staying in Indy, I guess, for a few days. I want to say like 3 days. Then she said she was going back to New York. Mind y'all, I'm like, okay, this girl got money because she taking mad flights. Like, she is flying back and forth like it's nothing. So, okay, sis got some money. Like, so then she went back to New York. And then she was like, coming to Indy again, to get my daughter. I'm like, why you ain't take your daughter when you took your son? And then, after that, she ended up saying that her mama, which is the kid's grandma, the mom was taking care of her son in New York. And I'm just like, okay, but didn't you say they lived in Indy with their grandma? That don't make sense. But I'm just like, okay, now my mind is spinning. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I still wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. Dummy. I don't know what I was thinking. But like, since she was going through so much, she was saying like how she was stressed out. You know, one time she had said that she was hungry and she didn't have no money for food. And me being the type of person that I am, like, I do like to help people out. So I was just like, okay, it's no big deal. So I cash apped her. I think it was like $15 to get some food or something like that. And her Cash App name was the name that she told me her actual name was. So I'm like, okay, well, her Cash App name is this, her social media is this. Like, this is really her. It's just that she don't got an iPhone right now or whatever, so we can't FaceTime. I'm gonna thug it out. So I sent her like money a couple times for food, and like, I don't know, for the kids one time, I guess, for food. So then she tells me that she's coming back to Indy again. what a surprise. So I'm like, okay, you back and forth in India a lot, baby. But this time she was coming to Indianapolis. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming to Indianapolis this time. And she asked me if I wanted to meet up. I'm like, all right, we can meet up, you know, even though it was kind of like, but I told her we could meet up. So she tells me that she was downtown, and I was with my cousins at the time. We were already headed downtown, so I'm like, all right, cool. You know, we can meet at this sushi spot because we were about to go get sushi. And then she was supposed to meet us at the sushi spot. We there for like an hour. I don't hear from her. I'm texting her, I'm calling her, nothing. So we sit there. It's like an hour and a half now. Then she texts me like, oh, sorry, I'm at Circle Center. I'm like, okay, why would you be at Circle Center if we were supposed to meet at the sushi place and you knew that and I stayed here all this time? Whatever, we're going to Circle Center to meet her or whatever. And I told my cousins that. I'm like, okay, well, she said she's at Circle Center. So we go to Circle Center, and then she said, oh, my bad. I had to do something. I forget what she said she had to do. Basically, she just moving around a lot. She moving around a lot, saying, not really giving me no information as to why she's doing this stuff. She's just making up excuses. And I'm like, dude, if you didn't want to hang out, you could have just said that. I'm over it at this point because I waited almost 2 hours at the sushi place for you. You did not show up. Like, things are starting to not add up and they're irritating me at this point. I'm looking cute, like I was getting all cute and stuff because I'm like, this is our first time meeting in person. I wanted to look nice. Her ass, like, okay, whatever. But then out of nowhere, like, this other girl, she tried to talk to me on POF, but I wasn't interested in her. I was not attracted to her, so I wasn't talking to her. She had messaged me like mad times before, and I was just like, bruh, you're not really my type. So at first I was just like, hey, how you doing, blah blah blah, but I just kind of left it at that. And she would still message me and I would never reply. So at the time, the girl Ashley is the one who this is supposedly is. The girl Ashley, she started talking to me less and less and less, and like 2 or 3 weeks went by, and then randomly one time she called me like, hey, sorry it's been so long, blah 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 blah. I'm like, you know, already off of her at this point, but I just kind of forgive her. Ooh, I got a hangnail. I forgave her. I was like, okay, whatever, you know, you're going through a lot right now. So I just let it be. And then she, oh my gosh, this is so hard to explain. But she had been started texting me again, but it was just for the rest of that day and like the next day. Then after that, boom, didn't hear from her no more at all. And so one day, this is how it all started kind of come together, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So one day, this girl, the one, okay, first let me back up a little bit. So one day I get a text from another number saying like, hey, how you doing, blah blah blah. And then I'm like, who is this? Like, I don't recognize this number. And so then she was like, we were talking on POF. Okay, we were. What do you look like? I told her to send me a picture. She sends me a picture. This is the girl that I just told y'all I was not attracted to on POF. We're going to call her Raven. This is Raven, y'all. So Raven, the one that I'm not interested in, text me. How you pop up on my phone? How did you get my number? I know I didn't give it to you. So Raven messaging me like, hey, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of like played it smooth because I didn't want to be rude. But I was like, how did you get my number? And she tells me that Ashley gave her my number. I'm like, how do y'all know each other? And she was like, that's my cousin. She was like, oh, she said my cousin gave me your number. And I'm like, who is your cousin? And then she's like, Ashley. And I'm like, what? how do you know Ashley? Like, how is she, like, I'm thinking, like, how do they know each other? Like, what? So, and why would she just give you my number randomly? So, she like, yeah, she said she didn't want to talk to you no more. So, she told me to talk to you. And then she was like, honestly, I've been the one you've been talking to for the past couple of weeks. But I was afraid to tell you because I didn't want you to think bad of Ashley because she didn't want to talk to you no more. What? What? Like, that don't make no sense. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, what are you? And then I told her, I'm like, well, I already told you that I wasn't interested in you and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know why you would text me. Like, you popped up on my phone, not understanding. And so then I stopped replying to her. And then she's like, I got to tell you something. Okay. She got to tell me something. What could it be? At this point, I'm ready for anything. So she got to tell me something. She tells me that I haven't really been talking to Ashley. I really was talking to her, but she didn't want to tell me it was her because I forget, was some stupid ass shit, like something so dumb, literally so dumb that she said that didn't make no sense, that she was kind of want to make me feel sympathy for her, but I didn't, because why would you do that? That don't make no sense. Like, I don't have no tolerance for that. I didn't feel sorry for her, nothing. Like, I'm just like, okay, I don't want to talk to you, you mad weird, you're unattractive as fuck, like, and now you really ugly because you sat up here and did some sneaky stuff that I don't like. And then all of a sudden, like, so I blocked her. Because I'm like, none of this stuff makes sense. You was catfishing, and she wanted to make me think that Ashley, like, gave her my number so that we could talk instead because she wasn't interested in me no more. But really, whole time, she been Ashley. Like, you are Ashley. Like, what are you talking about? Raven is Ashley. Ashley is Raven. They are the same person, and I'm pissed. Like, I'm pissed. I've been sending this girl money. I've been talking to this girl every day on the phone. I was dummy as fuck because I did not FaceTime her, and I was still giving her the benefit of the doubt. I sat at the sushi place for 2 hours waiting on this girl to show up. She never showed up. She don't got no kids. She's not 27. She's not 24. She's 22 because this is Raven. Like, why did I not put all that together to begin with? You were trying to swindle me out of my money. I don't know who you are. You telling me all these sob stories, and this is really not you whole time. Like, I was pissed off, y'all, and I felt so stupid. I felt so embarrassed because my cousins was there waiting with me, like waiting on her. I'm telling them all about her. Like, you know, she's so cool and this and that. Like, I really think that I would want to be with her and everything like that. Whole time she is catfishing me. Like, she is scheming, y'all. Like, what? I was blown away. Like, she told me that or whatever. Then some just told me to check my Cash App. Why did I go to my Cash App and the name said Raven? At first the name said Ashley something something. When I went back to my Cash App, the name said Raven. I done sent this girl money and it says Raven's Cash App name, not Ashley's. So I'm thinking that she changed her Cash App name, or she got 2 accounts or something. She changed her Cash App name to Ashley when we was talking, and she was pretending to be Ashley. Then once I blocked her and she was mad and all this other stuff, she changed it back to Raven. So whole time, I just been dumb, sending her money, talking to her and all this stuff, and that's not even really her. I was so hurt. I felt so stupid. I didn't want to tell nobody. I was completely embarrassed. And we was talking, like, for a decent amount of time too. Like, for me not to have figured that out, we was talking for a decent amount of time. And I'm just thinking, like, every excuse that she made, everything that she said, I just feel so dumb. So, yeah, that's the time that I got catfished. Moral of that story is make sure you're doing your research. Make sure you know who you're talking to. Make sure you don't be naive and let somebody pull the wool over your eyes, because they will. And they definitely will take your kindness for a weakness. They will take advantage of you and you won't even know. So make sure when y'all talking to somebody, y'all have to FaceTime, video chat, something like that. Make sure you matching that voice with that face. Make sure it all makes sense before you get your feelings invested into somebody, because that person could turn out to not be who they say they are. And don't ever get nobody money either, like, no, right off the rip. Like, not right off the rip, because it wasn't right away. I guess it was probably like after a month of us talking, but still, don't be giving money out. Don't just give your phone numbers out to anybody. Don't be like me. Basically, don't be like me, and don't fall for somebody that you never seen on FaceTime or in person. That's just it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.